I'm quite exhausted, I'm just going to stick to my regular sketchbook. And I'm just gonna draw whatever I feel like. Hi everyone! If you've seen my recent community post, which I hope all of you did, then you already know. But for those who didn't, I have big news because I got a little puppy. I've been so excited. Growing up, so many people around me had dogs, but this one is mine and only mine, and he is my first very own little puppy dog. I am so excited and I'm so in love with him. His name is Trüffel, and as you might be able to guess, that means truffle. And he is a purebred poodle who will be a little less than knee height once he's fully grown. However, right now, he is a handful to take care of. He is incredibly chill and he's incredibly smart and he learns really fast. But right now he is 10 weeks old and he still has all that puppy energy. And since there's a heat wave going on right now and this poor little guy really cannot handle the heat, we're not really able to power him out outside, which means he's trying to destroy everything inside the house. We keep trying to distract him with toys and pets and cuddles, and we're also trying to train him at home. I'm pretty sure he understands what no means, and I'm pretty sure he knows what toys he's allowed to chew on and what things he's not allowed to chew on. But every now and then he's being a defiant little child, and no matter how many times you try to tell him no, he will keep trying to chew on the same box. Even though on other days you say no once and then he leaves it. So, it can be frustrating. But I mean, hey, he's a puppy. It's not his fault. He's still learning. And a lot of the time I feel like he himself doesn't really know what he wants. Anyway, because he's so much work, I'm not actually sure if I will be able to get this video out this week. Or perhaps it will be a day or two late. Lately I've been really enjoying making YouTube videos again, so I really don't want to miss a day in my upload schedule. I really hope there's some dog lovers subscribe to my channel, because it would be like a dream for me if little Trüffel would be interested in making videos with me. But at the point of filming this video, we've had him for 5 days. I think he needs a little more time just to settle in and get used to his new life. Okay, now that I told you about our new puppy, I also need to remind you that we also have a cute little gecko who is basically a middle-aged man at this point. But to me, he's still a cute little baby. I would also love to show you more pictures or footage of Squirrel, but unfortunately he's quite camera shy and hates it when I pick up my phone. So let's actually start talking about art. Lately I've been seeing quite a few art pieces where people are drawing Littlest Pet Shop characters as more humanoid characters. So like they basically keep the head proportions, but their bodies are basically human anatomy, sometimes with paws, sometimes without. And since I really want to learn how to draw Littlest Pet Shop, but I was also really in the mood to draw some really fun outfits, I decided to also draw some humanoid Littlest Pet Shop characters. Please be nice to me. Again, I'm still learning. They still don't quite look like Littlest Pet Shop characters at all, in my opinion. I didn't get as much time to practice as I would have liked to, but I mean, I guess you're watching me practice right now. Also for the outfits, I really wanted to use my scented markers because I haven't used my scented markers in what feels like forever. And one of my favorite scented markers is this thick Crayola silly scents that smells like cherries. And it doesn't really smell like real cherries, but it smells like these cherry lollipops that I used to devour like a beast when I was a little kid. So that's also kind of why I added a few tiny little cherry accessories, I guess, to these characters. Just to, you know, bring in the cherry theme a little bit. Also, it is just a sketchbook drawing, and my cute little puppy basically needs 24/7 supervision, so I wasn't really able to focus on what I'm drawing anyway. Everything looks a little more messy than I would have liked it to be. But, you know, it was enough to kind of scratch that itch that I had, because I haven't been able to draw in like forever. And since I still had too much empty room, I also drew this really creepy looking whippet, which was highly referenced from a very creepy unicorn drawing. Which had these super skinny long elongated legs. And I mean, unicorns are pretty, but those super long skinny legs just kind of really reminded me of like a whippet or a greyhound or a dog, kind of in that vein. I complain about this all the time, but I think it's so annoying that it's really hard or basically impossible to truly capture how bright highlighters are on camera. Like in real life, neon colors highlighters, they look amazing, but on camera they always look kind of sad in my opinion. But again, I just kind of really had the urge to use them because I haven't used them in what feels like forever. And, you know, just as like the cherry on top, I also filled in all the leftover empty space with highlighter, neon colored damper marker pens. I got these in a physical store and they were not cheap, but the quality of these stamp markers are so bad. Like, unless I'm doing super duper precise slow-mo stamps, they're always gonna be kind of messy. So once my first page is full, I think on my second page I have to draw the obvious thing, which is of course my cute little Trüffel. It's not going to be the best of pictures because I am exhausted, I am tired, and even if I was at my peak mental state, I'd still be really bad at drawing poodles. To this day, I still haven't figured out how to draw dogs with curly or long hair. It always looks weird, and also I don't know how to draw long muzzles. But because this is supposed to be kind of like a real dog that actually exists in real life, giving him that like super stylized mini snoot that I usually draw for my animals just didn't feel right. I feel like Trüffel has like a very quite narrow and long nose. So I wanted to try and draw that, but it did not work out too well. It's my first attempt at drawing him, and my line art, my sketch and line art look pretty terrifying. But I do hope that the finished product is going to look a little better and less kind of like an alien. I also have this Crayola marker that's called Dolphin Gray, and it's from one of my 2 tropical sets, and I love this marker because it's a really good replacement for anything that's supposed to be black. But unfortunately, and I really wish I would have swatched this marker, the ink in this marker got all goopy and it became like super sticky and streaky on paper, kind of like when you use those like super duper cheap whiteboard markers. That's really disappointing because I love this marker, and I think Dolphin Gray is like a really cute color name too. So anyway, I kind of tried to salvage it by covering it up with other markers, but didn't work out that well. So then, since the Dolphin Gray marker doesn't work and I don't really have any other dark gray Crayola markers, the next best thing I could do is just use a straight up black. So whenever I do use black markers, you won't be able to see the black outlines anymore. So instead, I typically leave white outlines. And usually it's not that big of a deal, but this little guy in my picture has wavy curly hair, and of course I decided to pick one of my thickest Crayola markers for the black. So it was kind of difficult to leave the white outlines, and I would quite frequently cover up the white outlines by accident. But I mean, I do think the end result looks fine, and I used a marshmallow scented silly scent, which marshmallows are one of my favorite Crayola silly scent smells. It smells like super sugary with like a little hint of burn. And then because in one of the pictures that I took of him, he has this bright green little hair clip on his head, I of course drew him wearing that hair clip like properly, and that's also why the bow is gonna be in the same bright green. I would love to play dress up with my puppy one day, but obviously if he's not into it, I'm not gonna do that. Also, the hair clip wasn't in his hair, like his hair is like way too short still. It was just lying on top of his head for like 2 seconds so I could take the picture, and then it immediately fell off again. Oh, and for the green, I used my karaoke scented marker, which smells like apple candy. So there's a lot of sweet scents going on in this picture, and I kind of love it because if you've been around on my channel for a little while, then you've probably noticed I love scented art supplies, especially ones that are like super fruity or sweet. And then for the background, I used these pastel highlighters that I bought almost 10 years ago, I think. It really has been a long time. And I remember when I first bought them, I was in love with these highlighters. I'll use them like all the time, and then I got bored of them, and I've barely touched them ever since. They still work perfectly fine as if they're brand new, but I do believe that the next time I do some spring cleaning for all my art supplies, these ones are probably gonna need to find a new home. Like, the colors are pretty, they're kind of fun, the quality is good. I mean, obviously it's more of a stationery rather than an art supply, but I don't know, I just really don't like the shape of the barrel. And the chisel tip is like very rounded. And I'm not really a big fan of that. I prefer my chisel tips to have like a very clean, sharp, straight edge. Okay, and then lastly, I'm gonna have one more little drawing of a Shopkins horse on this little notepad. I came with a matching pencil. And that was it. Sorry this video is a bit of a mess, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And I hope to see you again next time. Goodbye!